Hi everybody, I'm Claire from Rainbow Acrylics. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I'm really excited about this pour. I recently did a pour which I'm calling my Dutch bloom technique. So it's Dutch pour consistency paints, but I put some of the cell activator, which you use in blooms, in the centre of the puddles for the Dutch pour. Blew it out, so it created these beautiful flowers, beautiful cells around the edges of the flowers, but the wonderful bloom lacing right in the centre. And I did that on a multicoloured base. So I'm going to do exactly the same again, different shape canvas. I'm going to use a 40cm hexagonal canvas this time, and a totally different colour scheme. So the base, I've never done this before, is going to be black, silver and white. And then the flower colours, the design colours, pinks and purples, which are obviously my favourite. I'm toying with the idea of adding some bronze as well. I think I might make that decision when I'm actually got the paint on the canvas. So let me show you the paints I'm going to use for this. So these are going to be my three base colours: Amsterdam White, De La Rowney Graduate Acrylic Pearl Black, and Pebeo Studio Acrylic Silver. And then my design colours, the four mauvey or violety colours, I've got Amsterdam Caput Mortem Violet, I've got Pebeo Studio Acrylics Oriental Violet, Pebeo Iridescent Violet Blue, Amsterdam Permanent Violet Blue, Pearl White, and then I'm just toying with the idea of adding some of this, the Amsterdam Bronze. So that's what the colours would look like without it. And then with it, I'm just not sure. I'm going to mix them all up. I'll have all the paints ready, and then I'll decide what to do. All paints are mixed with the American Flood floetrol. They're mixed 2 parts floetrol to 1 part paint to 3/4 of a part water, except for these iridescent colours where I've mixed 1 part water. So I've added a little bit of extra water because iridescent paints are slightly thicker, so it just gets them all to the same consistency. And then the cell activator, the white, which I'm putting in the centre, which is here, that's mixed with Australian floetrol, 3 parts Australian floetrol to 1 part Amsterdam white paint with just a splash of water. So again, that will be a similar consistency mixture to everything else here. With this canvas, I've put 6 push pins in the back. I find round canvases and hexagonal canvases quite difficult to level, so I've put more push pins in this time than previously, and spent quite a long time just putting the level on and just adjusting the push pins, just to try and get this as level and as flat as possible. In fact, there is still, can you see actually, there is still a slight tilt, so I need to actually do some more work to this. So I put my level on, and I'm just tilting it to see which way it needs to go. So it needs to go that way. So then I just wiggle these around a little bit, push them in, pull them out according to what I need to get it level. I've also sprayed the back of this canvas and let it dry so that it becomes much tighter because I don't want this to sag in the middle. Right, so I'm going to lay the base down. I'm just going to randomly pour these colours on, so the black, the white and the silver. Because I want the colours all to mix and blend. Right, so I'm going to blow this out with the hairdryer. And I'm going to try and blow roughly from the centre outwards. with that. That is absolutely gorgeous. Really, really pretty. So you've got some amazing cells coming up. It just means that I'm going to have a really nice base so that there isn't so much negative space. Well, there isn't any negative space. And I personally just prefer that. I know a lot of people like their negative space and wouldn't like this as much. I can just see a pool of paint here, so I'm just going to try and blow a bit more paint off. Wow. Right, I'm just going to fix up the edges now. So I'm just dabbing the paint down just so that every patch is covered. A lot of these sides are already covered, but I don't want to be worrying about that afterwards, so I want to get all of that done now. So my idea for the design is I think I'm going to do 3 flowers. So just 1, 2, 3, and then I will blow them out so they'll be maybe touching each other, maybe not. I'm going to put one right in the centre of that black area, I think. One here, one here. So that was the Caput Mortuum violet, followed by a little bit of the pearl white. Because if you put that underneath some of the colours, it just seems to give this most amazing sparkly sheen to the flowers. Right, the very, very deep violet. And then I am going to add the bronze. Rightly or wrongly, I'm going to do it. And then the Oriental Violet. The Oriental Violet is a transparent colour, so I find that it doesn't show up that much. It just adds just a very lovely, soft, subtle violet without being too obvious. And then I want it to have a nice bright finish, so I'm just going to go for a nice lot of this iridescent violet. Right, done. So cell activator. So I'm going to blow these flowers, these blooms out with my mouth, not with my hairdryer, so I've got much more control that way. So I feel a bit nervous right now, so wish me luck. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, colours amazing. Right, I'll turn this round. Wow, colours are amazing, absolutely amazing. Not happy with the composition at the moment. So I'm going to do some tweaking, either that or I add some more flowers. I'm not sure yet, but if I add more flowers, I'm going to be losing this wonderful grey base. I'm just going to play around with the edges, see if I can sort it out just by blowing around. Right, I am now much happier, but what I would say is I think the base is a little bit too distracting. So actually I love the base, but it is one heck of a chaotic painting at the moment. So I'm just thinking on what to do. One option I've got is that I let this dry and then I outline these, probably in the iridescent pink, and I think that would just make it really pop and really stand out. The actual lacing and the cells that are popping up is gorgeous. I do really like the base, and I do really like bright, colourful, chaotic painting. So I think, yeah, I'm talking myself into this. I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to add anything to it. I'm going to let it dry and then play around a little bit, I think. Just having been looking at this painting for a while, I've decided to add something extra. Oh. I've seen recently a few artists do little tiny drips of paint and then just drag something through them. So I am going to add, rightly or wrongly, this may ruin it, I'm going to add a little bit more paint to this. I'm just deciding, I think I'm going to use the Caput Mortem Violet. Now, I might regret this, but I'm going to try it. So I'm going to add just a few drops. This is absolutely crazy, totally nuts, but I love it. I'm definitely going to let it dry and then I'm going to outline the flowers because they just look a little bit lost. And I think if I could outline them in that bright pink, they would just pop. They would just look so pretty. I was going to do just 3 of these little, I don't know what you call them, leafy things, little like that, little ferns, aren't they? But as you could see, I got carried away. I ended up doing lots because I just really enjoyed doing it. So look at the base. The base is so pretty. There are just so many beautiful cells. And then the actual flowers themselves, the lacing is just absolutely gorgeous. You've got the really subtle little hints of the bronze coming through, which I really like. Just there, it just gives it an extra little glow, especially quite near the centre. And then the last one over here. I'm so interested to know what this will look like dry. And once I've embellished it a little bit, it definitely is going to need some embellishing because at the moment it just, the blooms just look lost. So I will be back when it's dry. So here it is dry. I'm really pleased with it, really happy with it, but it didn't dry particularly well. So a lot of the colours sunk. So the base is just perfect. Absolutely love this base. And I love these little feathery bits, but a lot of these colours, especially around the edges of the petal, of the flowers, just sunk. So the central part has dried really well. The lacing there is dried really pretty. But a lot of this sunk. So what I've actually had to do is go around the edges to really define these flowers, because without the definition, it just looked, you just couldn't really see the flowers very well. So if I go in really close, I'll show you what I did. I outlined it with the Caput Mortuum violet around the edge, and then with a bit of the iridescent pink, and then with just a little bit of that dark purple. And then I had a new set of permanent paint, like pen brush type things, and then I went around actually with black around the edge. So I've done that for all of the flowers. So it looks a little bit now like some illustrated flowers. I've got a good friend who's an illustrator, and she loves this type of work because everything is very clearly defined around the edge. So she would be happy with this. This wouldn't probably be everybody's cup of tea being defined like this, but yeah, I had to do it because otherwise the flowers just didn't show at all. So with that in mind, I'm really, really happy. So it's not quite as I'd intended, but who cares? It doesn't matter. Just look at the cells, the lacing, that are just some absolutely beautiful patches. This colour scheme I'm definitely going to do again. I'm loving the base, the silver, the white and the pearl black base with these colours on top with the bright splash of colour. I think you could use any splash of colour. I'm definitely going to do more like this with this sort of colour scheme. And to show you how iridescent this is, if I just turn this around, you can see how shiny it is. So the flowers are iridescent and also the base is iridescent. So I'm, yeah, overall absolutely over the moon with it. Really, really happy. Oh, and the bit of bronze, it's so subtle, but it's there, and I just think it livens the whole painting up. Great, thank you so much for watching this. Do tell me what you think, leave me any comments you want to, and if you like it, please give it a thumbs up. Great, take care everyone, bye.